We hold so many things in, not realizing how heavy that shit can be, how much that can affect you and your all your relationships.
Sometimes it isn't as easy as you think. So sometimes you need somebody to talk to, somebody to hear your thoughts, hear what you're going through, those emotions, with somebody who's not judging you. You know what I mean? Somebody who's not judging you for things the way you feel when in certain situations.
There's certain times where y'all all drinking and then one of your friends starts getting emotional. It's like, yo, bro, I love you. I miss you. I really fuck with you. It was one of those times, and he disclosed some things about, being taken advantage of at a young age by an older relative. And he comes up to me, he's like, yo, bro. And then he starts spilling to me like, yo, this is how it's affected me. This is how it's affected me. He's not going to go to therapy, so we got to figure something out. And we started Black Men Feel. Literally, it's going to host a safe space for Black men to come and just chop it up and just talk.
When you're feeling these emotions and you're going through stuff, you kind of avoid people that you don't want to hear it from because you feel it. Like you said, you're going to get judged. Or you're going to hear what you don't. I just want to vent, and I just want you to understand how I'm feeling, and that's it. So
I'm not complaining. I'm literally just venting. I just want to talk about how I'm feeling. I know it's nothing you can do.
We all care about physical health. We all care about how we look. We all care about that. But our mind is super important, and I feel like we don't take it as serious as it should be. Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Rose Above Podcast. I'm your host, Rose.
It's your boy, Mout.
My man, Dan Den's in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yo, we got a very special guest in the building. My guy, Sam.
Yo, what's up, fellas?
Appreciate you coming on,
good,
man.
brother. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Man.
Thank you.
I'm going to first shout out to our YouTube viewership, Apple Podcast listenership, Spotify listenership, SoundCloud listenerships. For those who can't afford those subscriptions, I understand. But it's good, y'all. How's everybody feeling? How's everybody's mental health today?
It's good. Good.
How's your week been?
We're taking it day by day. Nothing bad, but just, working heavy. So I've been tired, but just work. That's it going on right now.
Oh, you just work? Just
work right now, yeah.
That's good. Dens?
Just work.
Y'all came in here ready to pod.
Yes, we did.
Y'all came in here ready.
We want to get to the meat and potatoes. It's not about me today.
Sam, what's good, bro?
It's good, bro. I'm chilling, man. I've been looking forward to coming and chopping up with y'all, man.
Appreciate it.
Glad you're here, bro.
That's how my week's been going. Looking forward to it.
Yo, bro.
Nice.
I know last week we had to reschedule. But glad you're here. Glad you made it. Yo, we're gonna talk about all things you, because you got a lot going on, bro.
Man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, bro. We love it. We know, like we always do mental health check-ins. It's usually more inclusive than
just work.
Right.
Usually say a whole lot more, but yeah, bro. I want to get into. Pause. Say you.
That was pause.
You tried for like 5 minutes. You trying to find the right word.
Trying to find another word.
He's like, how can I say this? But at the same time, I'm just trying to get into. You know what? I'm just trying to get into you. Let's just see. Normally I'm trying to get into it.
Yo, so give us a little bit behind Black Men Feel. So we like. Before we get, I'm on a mental health journey. I was telling you a little before the pod. I kind of realized mental health was really important. Like honestly, through my marriage, right? So, marriage isn't always perfect. So you go through some rough times, rough patches. And I kind of was like, yo, there's certain things about myself that I felt like I could fix on my own. Sometimes it isn't as easy as you think. So sometimes you need somebody to talk to, somebody to hear your thoughts, hear what you're going through, those emotions. With somebody who's not judging you. You know what I mean? Somebody who's not judging you for things the way you feel when in certain situations. But I realized mental health was important, bro. Like I know we all care about physical health. We all care about how we look. We all care about that. But our mind is super important, and I feel like we don't take it as serious as it should be.
Right. So Black Men Feel is a company that I co-founded with my best friend Ben. I believe you know Ben. Mm-hmm. We all went to high school together. It started off. Black Men Feel was born out of a conversation. Two things. I had a conversation with one of our friends, and then Ben was going through his own journey, his own mental health journey. He's the first one out of our friend group that started therapy and started actually talking to people about therapy. So I had a drunk night with with a few of my boys. You know, we were all drinking. It was Halloween weekend. One of our friends' birthdays was coming up, so we just having a good time. And we're all guys here, so y'all know when, you know, there's certain times where y'all all drinking and then one of your friends starts getting emotional. It's like, yo, bro, I love you. I miss you. I really fuck with you.
You gotta do this more.
Right. Yeah. So it was one of those times, you know, and he disclosed some things about, being taken advantage of at a young age by an older relative. And I threw it out there. I'm like, yo, you don't understand how much that can have an effect on you growing up in different ways. And I realized that comment kind of like killed the mood. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. We're not going to talk about that no more. We still drinking. We about to go out to a party. Let's be lit. So whole night goes by and we're at like an after spot. And he comes up to me. He's like, yo, bro, I've been thinking about that shit all night. And then he starts spilling to me like, yo, this is how it's affected me. This is how it's affected me. I can't trust that. I can't trust this. I don't trust myself with certain things. It's like, I just push it to the back. I don't really think about it, you know? So I took that, had a conversation with Ben about it. He's like, yo, he's not going to go to therapy, so we got to figure something out. And we started Black Men Feel literally on the phone, like, yo, we going to book a space and we just going to host a safe space for Black men to come and just chop it up and just talk, you know, because we're not used to even doing that without being drunk. So you got to, Black Men Feel, we want to be looked at as a bridge for Black men to therapy. You know, it's not therapy. It's just a tool that you can use to help yourself open up to the idea of talking to somebody else about what you got going on. You know, so that happened Halloween weekend. We booked it for the end of November. Had the first session in the city, and it was about 25 Black men that just pulled up.
Wow, that's fire.
And was just talking about what they got going on. There were fathers there. There were older men there, young men there, all different demographics, like college grads, people that didn't go to college. Like and everybody was just sharing their experiences and what they had going on. And then we ended the session with like a session of gratitude. Pretty much, we go around talking about what we're grateful for. And, you know, just to leave everybody ending the session feeling good about, you know, what they got going on and everything like that. So we did that monthly. We started to work we did a few one-off programs with different schools, different high schools. And that was right before the pandemic hit. So the pandemic came, no more in-person anything, virtual. We started virtual and we're still doing virtual sessions every month. And we're just picking up, trying to do things in person more and, you know, getting back into schools, helping, you know, support our young men and things of that nature. So that's where we're at with it right now, you know?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you that that's super fire, bro. Yeah. The fact that, because I'm telling you, we grew up in an era where like talking about our feelings was kind of like
taboo,
right?
It's frowned upon. Yeah, frowned upon. It was like
weakness.
Yeah,
facts.
It's like, yo, stop being a bitch.
Right, pretty much.
You know what I mean? Like that's how it kind of
complaining. What you complaining for? Like it's like, nah, I'm not complaining. I'm literally just venting. I just want to talk about how I'm feeling. I'm not. I know it's nothing you can do. It's a weight that I need to get off of me sometimes, you know. And we hold so many things in, not realizing how heavy that shit can be, how much that can affect you and your all your relationships, your friendships, work, extracurricular activities, your girlfriend, your mom. Like all relationships are affected by what you're going through and what you're either holding in or what you're processing and moving on from. Like everything is affected by that.
Absolutely.
And I think one thing you said is when as men and when we're going through stuff, and we said this before, we chopped it up a little bit before we got on camera, but when you're feeling these emotions and you're going through stuff, you kind of avoid people that you don't want to hear it from because you feel it. Like you said, you're gonna get judged, or you're gonna hear what you don't. I just want to vent, and I just want you to understand how I'm feeling. And that's it. So like, I know sometimes when I go through stuff, and I be like, damn, I don't feel like seeing Shorty. So let me work a little overtime. I'm doing this. So even when you're younger, and you know you going through stuff, you don't see your parents like, nah, they're gonna tell me this and that. So it's just not. But that's good that you guys had that safe space, especially for all men in general, but black men, I feel like especially don't know the weight that we carry on our shoulders a lot of the time.
Especially with that accountability. Like a lot of people lack accountability. So they're not going to even see themselves as wrong, or they're not going to realize that there's something wrong going on with them. Like, you know, the repeated thing that they need to get off their shoulder, just let go. And they're just going to keep on talking about it and like, are talking around it. And they don't know how to say it out loud. Like whatever's going on with them.
You know, and that's to point out, you know, the accountability thing. That's one of the things that we emphasize within the sessions is, you know, this is a judgment-free zone, but it's also, you're going to get advice, and that advice is going to be real shit. It's not going to be anything that is not just because you're here and you're amongst a bunch of men that we're going to just tell you what you need to hear. No, what you want to hear, we're going to tell you what you need to hear. You know, sometimes advice or, you know, guidance, it's tough to hear. It's harsh. Like, you got to look in the mirror and realize where you went wrong and acknowledge that and move on. You know, you come to, it's just like talking to anybody. It's like, yo, I'm going through this, you know, this person did that. All right, what role did you play in it?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Bro, I always say the hardest conversation to have is with yourself, especially when you know you're lying to yourself.
Yo.
And those, bro, those could be some hard revelations when you that's why I'm a big believer in, like, if you're going through something, talk to somebody, right? I know I'm one, I don't want to push therapy on anybody, but like, talk to a friend, like a group. This men's group you have for Black Men Feels is amazing because, yo, sometimes you feel like you're the only person going through something, and you'll have somebody who's like, yo, I went through that 3 years ago. I understand that. Like, and it's beautiful.
You know what's crazy? The same friend that I was talking about that helped us. He's the reason why we started Black Men Feel. Literally last weekend, me and him got into it over something that I was internalizing, and it was like, yo, damn, bro. Like, we talked it out, and I'm like, damn, bro. It was really just like, I'm feeling a way about certain things that's going on with me. And I'm internalizing it, where he's literally just chilling and like we joking around and shit like that. I'm taking a joke too serious. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, bro, like that was one of those times I had to look in the mirror and be like, yo, bro, you bugging out. Like, just talk to your boys. Cause once I finally talked to him about, you know, why I was feeling a certain type of way, why I was just on edge about certain shit, he's like, yo, I'm literally going through the same thing. Like, literally. He called his girl. He said, yo, tell Sam that this is what's going on. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, damn. What? Damn.
And shout out to Shorty for always keeping it real with you.
Yeah. You know you want one of those for sure.
No matter how much you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And that stick beside you. Because they're going to tell you what it is, but they're going to be like, all right, and this is what we're going to do to fix it together.
Right.
Because when you're in a real partnership, that's what it is, together.
It's needed, man.
And sometimes you'll try to dismiss her because you think there's something wrong with her.
Pride. That's your pride. That's your pride trying to be dismissive.
Shit wrong with me?
I'm perfect.
Like, what's wrong? Nothing. I'm good.
I'm great. Yeah. Actually.
What's the biggest challenge you've had so far at Black Men Feels?
To be honest, consistency. Myself and as a collective, we both have, just life happens, but you got to understand that life happens with everybody. That's not really an excuse, and we just got to actually lean into what we have. I feel like Black Men Feel is something that can work in multiple ways. It can serve as a service for Black men, but it can also be a way of living for us, and we just got to take it as serious as it should be and tap into it. And, we'll be able to, I guess, enjoy the fruits of our labor when it comes to that, So it's just really, I feel like it's consistency. Yeah,
it's funny, bro. Consistency is like, even with this podcast for us, it's like, I think that's our biggest thing. Just because it's, like you said, we all, work, life, things come up, and it's like, dang, we can't do it. But I'm also like, yo, I gotta figure it out. And most of it, I'll take accountability for. It'd be me. I'd be like, yo, I gotta figure it out. I had a long day at work. I have my daughter. I'm tired. I gotta push through. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I totally understand, bro. I feel that 1,000%.
What do you think the stigma is with Black men, like expressing their emotions?
To be honest, I don't think the stigma anymore is that, you know, black men are weak or anything like that. I think now the stigma may be that we talk too much and not, you know, actually being honest. I feel like, you know, you heard of mansplaining, where you know, like what women call it mansplaining, but even just in general, I feel like black men will talk in circles before actually addressing the issue. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk about everything else and what people like, going back to the accountability thing. It's like I'll talk about everything else, what everybody else did, except for the fact that I was late for work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got fired for tardiness, but I'm sitting here talking about, my manager's a bitch, so-and-so's an asshole. Like, they got these different policies and shit like that. And it's like, bro, you was late. Yeah. Like, you know, so it's I think it's both. Like, just, it's the accountability. You said stigma. I don't think that's not a stigma. That's just something that we dealing with.
Yeah, that's something we dealing with. I just feel like for me growing up, I feel like you said, we come from a generation where we were raised to harbor all that and keep it inside. And I even feel like, even like with relationship stuff, I felt like at times, like when I even tried, girls were like, "Oh, you're soft. You're this." So I'm like, "Oh, okay." People are right. I need to keep that inside if I want to get the girls or the job. I got to hold my emotions inside, and nobody wants to be the angry black guy either, too. So like, I feel like a lot that stigma is like, buck up and handle your business. Yeah. And I feel like I can only speak for myself, but I feel like that's one of my biggest struggles is trying to get rid of that narrative for myself. Is like,
trying to actually believe that it's okay.
That it's okay. Because people be saying, when people say, "Oh, nah, you could talk to me," and you be like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Somebody else.
And because times I tried and it's like, okay, that didn't work. Another time I tried, that don't work. Okay, this doesn't work.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I feel like that right there, so many people go through, like opening up and then, I guess, being judged or somebody throwing it in their face or whatnot. Like, I feel like that's the perfect reason to get a therapist. Perfect, bro. Perfect. I feel like that's the perfect reason to get, like, just go. You got somebody that's dedicated to just listen and ask you questions about what you just said. Like, literally, that's what they do. They help guide you through what you just said and be like, all right, so what made you feel like that? What made you feel like that? What made you act like that? Like, that's what they're doing. They not like, my experience with therapy has been, they'll give me homework to, like, look into certain things that I've done, or, write certain experiences down and how I felt about those things. Like, it's not necessarily like, you need to do this or you need to break up with so and so. Like, that hasn't been my experience. It's really just been guiding me and giving me the tools to process my emotions. Really,
same with me.
Sorry, I know you just said like therapy, and then you said writing down. Do you feel like that's another tool that could help you? Like,
perfect. That's
what I'm looking for. Like, not just going to therapy. Say something. I can't afford therapy. I don't got insurance. I'm like this. What are other tools people could use to get it out?
Yeah, so definitely journaling is definitely something that I encourage. It's something that I was telling y'all earlier. I'm practicing taking my own advice, and journaling is something that I do, but not as consistent as I need to. But I definitely feel and understand the benefits of doing it. So I'm not sure if I'm jumping ahead or anything.
No, you good. You good.
But that's one of the main things. So I really came here to talk to you guys about the Elite 30, which is a 30-day reset / refill period that really is designed to help you, refill that cup that you're pouring out of daily. The saying goes, you can't pour from an empty cup. And as, you're a father and a husband, you have those two priorities alone trump anything else that you want to do.
Absolutely.
You feel me? So how can you be an elite father without being an elite person, an elite man yourself? You have to lock in on who you are and, build yourself up. And with the Elite 30, it started as a personal challenge for me to building that consistency. You know, it's something I've through self-reflection, I realized that, you know, consistency, discipline, and like just continuously doing the things that you say you want to do is something I lack sometimes. I go through these different periods where I don't feel like myself, you know, so I just implemented, you know, I've realized there's a few months out the year that have 30 days. Let me just lock in for a few 30-day periods out the month, out the year, and, you know, get that sense of consistency back. You know, so every day for the next 30 days, starting on September 1st, I'll be reading for 30 minutes, I'll be journaling for 30 minutes, and I'll be exercising for 30 minutes.
Fire.
You know, so the goal is, you know, you mentioned earlier, you know, like as men, we gonna go to the gym right away. Like, I'm feeling sad, let me go hit the bag, let me go lift some heavy weights, like let me go run this off, you know, we're gonna go do that, and then we're not even gonna think about talking to somebody about what we just went through. You're not even gonna think about writing it down to even, you know, read it back and be like, dang, that's how that actually sounds when I read that out, or when I say that out loud. Like that's what that. Like we don't do that. We just go straight to the physical. So the goal is to use the next 30 days to, you know, build that consistency of, you know, taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. You know, so. That's what.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna join you on that because I think that's fire. Like to read 30 minutes a day. It's funny, man, because I went to lunch with my wife today and she asked me. I was feeling a little down. She was like, "Yo, let me ask you something." She was like, "Yo, when's the last time you picked up your Bible?" I read the Bible app. I was like, "Last time I went to church." She was like, "Why?" She's like, "Why you don't just take a couple minutes every morning and read a little bit?" And I was like, "You're right." Right. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I need to start reading more anyway, right? In general. Yeah. And I was like, dang, and I do journal, but another thing, I don't journal every day, like as much as I want to. So doing that for 30 days is and one thing like you said is when you write something down and then read it out loud, or even if you go to therapy, you say something out loud, you'll be like, oh, that's sounds wild.
That's like, crazy that I'm even thinking about that.
No, for sure.
It's like, that's like literally why I'm doing this shit, because I've gone through times like, you know, even talking to a friend that you know is going to keep it real with you, and it's like, you say you say that deep thought that you've been holding on to for months, and then you finally say it out loud. I'm like, yo, bro, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, and then you've been in your head for these last 3 months, beating yourself up over some bullshit.
Yeah.
Because you just you don't even say it out loud to realize that this shit is bullshit. You know?
It's true, bro. It's so true. But since you went to I want to get into the Elite Summit you got coming up. What is the Elite Summit? And why'd you start it?
So the Elite Summit. Actually, it passed. The Elite Summit passed, but it's an annual thing, so it is going to come. We're doing it next year again, but I started a company called Only for the Elite, or OFTE, and basically, I started that company because I realized that I have a lot of interest and I need to legitimize myself as a businessman in order to get these things done. Okay. You know, I have a lot of ideas for, you know, podcasts for entertainers and things like that, and just coming to them as Sam, I'm not going to be taken serious, no matter how dope or elite the idea is. You know, coming to them as the founder of a consulting agency that specializes in, you know, curating events, artist management and advising, and, you know, creative consulting. So with the Elite Summit, I want to be seen as a resource. Okay. You know, with OFT, I want to be seen as a resource. So with the Elite Summit, I gathered a lot of the creatives in Yonkers, in and around Yonkers, to come together to have professional headshots taken, to network with each other, and then I didn't host it. We facilitated a panel discussion talking about giving back through mentorship, horizontal networking, and building community. Those 3 topics are things that I feel like all entrepreneurs can benefit from, but especially small business owners, up and coming creatives and things like that. Because, you know, as you look around, you know, there's an artist that needs somebody to talk to about their last project. You know, you guys have content, you have space for somebody to come and talk about what they got going on.
Correct.
But you're busy planning your own business. You know, you have a podcast that you got to come up with the questions you're going to ask. You got to come up with the topics you're going to discuss. You got to come up with, you know, new ways to record and be more efficient with getting the content out. You know, that's a lot of things you have to worry about internally. So it's kind of hard to also keep up with the newest artist that's coming up out of town, the newest, you know, clothing brand that's coming up out of town. The Elite Summit is designed to be the place that you come to get a service done. You know, it's not always going to be headshots. It's going to be something else that entrepreneurs and creatives need. But you're going to be able to come get a service done and network and interact with other like-minded individuals. And then you're also going to be able to watch and listen to experienced people across various fields talk about their journeys and the specific topics that we designate. You know, so it's really just it's a connecting event to come out and just build on, you know, what you have going on, share some of the, you know, events that you have coming up, share some of the ideas that you have. And you may, you know, meet an up and coming photographer that can be Den's intern. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may meet another person that works in production that can give you an alley to other opportunities and stuff like that. You know, that's what the Elite Summit is and what it's designed to do. And I'm looking forward to building upon it, because I feel like, you know, we spoke off air about it, but, you know, Yonkers and just Westchester in general has a lot of creative energy that's, you know, building and buzzing right now. And the one thing that's missing, or I don't feel like it's missing, but I feel like it can be a lot stronger, is the community aspect. And with everybody trying to climb, it's kind of hard to look across and be like, all right, let's collab on this when we all just looking to, you know, make it. You know what I'm saying? So having somebody like myself that's thinking about those things, that's thinking about, all right, what's the next 3 guests Rose Above It podcast can have on a show that can help amplify both audiences, you know, like, just that's how I think, you know. So I want to put together events like that to be able to facilitate that, you know.
Bro, you only had one so far, just one, right? Or what?
The first one was a few months ago, and I did it at the Yonkers Arts Project Space. I hosted it at the art gallery because you know how it is. Like, you went to college, so you know a lot about like networking events, and you know a lot about pulling up with your resume and shirt and tie and looking at, like, job fairs, looking to talk to everybody and things like that. And I'm not sure about you guys, but for me, there were times where it felt a little intimidating. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel like I'm not really good enough to be here, or I'm not prepared enough to be here. You know, I don't have an actual business, so what am I going to this? You know, like, I designed it that way to be at an art gallery so that, you know, the art can be like the background and give people a reason, like, yo, you can come to this event and literally not talk to anybody. You can come, get your headshot taken, view the art, and then sit down and watch the panel discussion and dip. You know what I'm saying? I want people to feel comfortable coming as they are. And, you know, the art gives people a natural icebreaker. I'm saying, like, it's a natural icebreaker. You see 2 people staring at the same piece. It's like, nah, that's really dope. Nah, that is really dope. What you here for? Not what you here for. Y'all here for the same event. But, you know, what do you do? Oh, I do this. Word, I do this too. Now y'all connected. You know, like, so that was the thought process in putting it together that way.
Also, what I love about that too, bro, is like, if I'm there, right, as a podcast, and I see, just say you have somebody from Earn Your Leisure podcast there, right? And I'm there and I wanted to get some insight on them, and I see them, they're not in a suit and tie, they wearing Jordans, a hoodie. I'm like, dang, I can relate. Like, I might feel more confident about it. What's up, man? My name is Trip. And like, I might, you know, you might feel more. And then if somebody's in a suit and tie, you like, he ain't gonna, he might not have
he might not have this thing in common.
He busy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it comes off different, which I love personally, because like, you want to go there and be able to chop it up with people.
No, for sure. And I love the fact that it just brings a place for everybody to eat. You know, you're connecting people who might not have the connections or the confidence to go out and reach out to some of these people by themselves. So now you're bringing everybody in the same pot, and regardless they talk or not, it's an opportunity, and not everyone's going to jump at the opportunity, but it's giving them a chance to grab and take their own destiny in their hands. So that's really dope.
Yeah, but you said a lot, and one thing I want to say that first of all, the headshots fire, because a lot of people don't even know how important headshots are. A lot of people don't even know where to go to get headshots anymore. Sears is closed.
Not to like toot my own horn or nothing, but like a headshot is important. Like it's very important. A good headshot can land you a lot of jobs, a lot of just taking you serious as who you are. It don't even matter what the person does. You could fucking sell weed and it's like you have a good headshot. Good
I'll buy weed from him.
He has a tie on.
He's got business cards and selling weed. I like that. There ain't no fent in there.
You know what I'm saying? It just gives you that validation.
No, it does, bro. And then you also said something about mentorships, which is super important. That like it's something that when I was younger, I wish I would have kind of pushed for is getting a mentor and networking. Are two things that like all through college, like they tell you, get good grades, and I had a internship, but then like graduate, you think you're gonna just apply and get these amazing jobs, and that's not how it works.
At all.
You know what I mean? At all. Like having a mentor does so much, bro. It tells you what to do, like places you need to be, things you need to do. They make you think different, and then to network and go out there and talk to these people because. I ain't gonna lie. One thing I realized, especially in media, is closed mouths don't get fed. If you ain't gonna sit there and introduce yourself to somebody or talk or reach out or hey, I got this going on, people will go right past you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you really gotta be able to, and that's why I say to anybody in life, like you'll never know who's next to you and who can help you out if you don't say what you're looking for, what you want, what you need.
That's a fact.
So like for the youth that's watching this, like don't be ashamed. They'll be afraid. Go out there and ask, talk to that person who you think like, dang, I just want to ask him something. Ask.
Yeah.
And I just got a quick question. Like, how important do you think is like mentorship in between like you and a younger person or a person that's younger than you, or even a person that's older than you, because they're gonna call you big homie regardless.
So I think mentorship is extremely important, and just like what you was just saying, I want you to realize it's not even too late to have a mentor. It's not too late to get a new mentor. That's another reason why I wanted to include that, in the Elite Summit, and is because I have the same sentiment, and I also take a lot of blame for not knowing how to be a mentee. Not knowing how to just reach out and literally just talk to that person that's showing interest in you about anything. Like literally, like they may connect with you on, all right, we both play basketball. All right, we're both finance majors, or we're both this or both that. But that's just the thing that got them interested in you. But they care about your well-being. They care about who you are as a person. Like you can talk to them about anything until they tell you like, yo, we hear about this, like set boundaries, but don't place boundaries where it's not there. Like don't, like you said, closed mouths don't get fed. So like as a mentee, you got to know how to just really just be a mentee. And so it's extremely important. And I just actually it's a great opportunity for me to talk about Project Inspire.
Okay, yes.
Project Inspired Yonkers is a community organization based in Yonkers, obviously, and
shout out Shatika.
Shatika. Shatika, she was actually the moderator for the Elite Summit.
Okay.
I've been pushing her to get in her public speaking bag, and she did an amazing job, man. She did an amazing job. But there's also a Project Inspire has a mentoring program that's starting up in September. And it's a group of young boys that we're mentoring, and I signed up this year to be a mentor. So like I said, I'm working to take my own advice, and that's one of those things. Like I had taken a step back from Project Inspire, from like being extremely active with it, and I just wanted to see what I can do to actually bring value to it. So being a mentor is something I'm extremely excited for. And being in a frat, we have a lot of brotherhood, and mentorship is pushed heavily. So coming home, I wanted to do the same thing, so I believe mentoring is extremely important in all fields.
Bro, and it's gonna be fire. Just like when you have a mentee, just looking up to you and seeing like, it's another black man who has his head on his shoulders and doing things like for the community and doing a lot of things. I commend you, bro.
Thank you, man. Yeah, sure. We need some more mentors. So I'm saying, y'all can definitely pull up, be a part of the program, and like I said, yo, there's so many opportunities for everybody to work together. You guys can, provide an experience for a lot of these young boys that they don't have an opportunity to. Somebody being behind the camera, they like taking photos on their phone or their mom's phone or whatnot, not realizing like, yo, you have NBA aspirations and your pops is 5'2". Like it's certain things. It's like, all right, you may not be going there, but you can be the littest photographer on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Catching all these interviews and things like that. So like, with Project Inspire, one of the I guess sessions or things that we emphasize is careers outside of sports. Mm-hmm. So just being able to let these young boys know, like, yo, you whatever goals you have, whatever dreams you have, go for it. But don't be afraid to pivot and find out how talented you are in something else.
Correct.
It's nothing wrong with that.
At all.
So.
At all.
Yeah, you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket.
At all.
You can shoot for the NBAs.
Yeah, I see the video that somebody had. This dude, he came out of jail and he was talking to these young boys. It was like a group of 20 young boys, and he was like, "Yo, I just want you." Like he was giving them like a motivational kind of speech, but he was like, "Yo," there's one of the boys had his phone in his hand. He said, "Yo, you know what he said, "What do you see when what you got in your hand?" He was like, "I got my iPhone." He was like, "That's what you see your phone?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Bro, you got the world in your hands, bro. You don't realize." He said all this. He said, you're video recording me right now. He said, do you know what you could take that video and what you could do with it? Mm-hmm. He said, you got the world. He said, yo, bro, you got access to so much. But he said, but a lot of y'all sit there and y'all waste it. And it is true, bro. Like when he broke it down like that, I'm like, dang, it's true. Like the access to knowledge, to all the knowledge in the world is a touch away in your phone, bro. So it's very true, bro. And we need to get our youth to really think outside the box. Like you said, like just because you want to play in the league, right? But it's a very small percentage to get into the league. Like not to kill anybody's dreams. Mm-hmm. If that's what you want to do, go after it, get it. But also think that if I don't get in the league, yo, what can I do? You could be a sideline reporter. You could be a videographer, photographer. You could be a trainer. There's a lot of things you can do within being in the NBA, within the basketball world. You know what I mean? Like one of my boys who I grew up playing ball with, he's a ref. But he refs like the Final Four. Yeah. Like Division I, yeah. He's on TV. Like he refs. I'm like, yo, son, he's like, yo, bro, he's like, yo, in a couple of years, I'm trying to get in the league and ref those. I'm like, bro, that's fire. Yeah. Like to think somebody who wanted to be in the league, now he's like a couple steps away of I'm reffing in the NBA. Dog, that's an amazing job, bro. I'm in the NBA. You in the league. I'm in the league.
You're doing anything in the NBA. You're in the right place.
Bro, yeah. That bag is different. You get money, bro. You know what I mean?
You be throwing the towels.
Hell yeah, bro.
Some of them get rings. Refs probably ain't getting rings. They probably get rings on the low.
When they help.
They probably get some rings on the low, but
you gotta think about that, like the value of that. Like you was in the right place at the right time because you met the right people. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And now you reffing.
Yeah, you reffing the finals. Like, you reffing LeBron's last finals.
Yo, it's crazy.
Travel on that last layup.
Right. Yo, crazy experiences, bro. That's why I be telling them. Like, there's a kid that I train because I do basketball training too, and he was like, yo, he played on the freshman team, but he was like, yo, I ain't play that much, and I was like, so what? I was like, yo, we gonna work hard. We gonna work out. And next year we gonna try to get you on JV. And I was like, but yo, also enjoy the experience, bro. That brotherhood of being on the team, experience and traveling, going places. Like he was like, yo, my team stayed in DC. I was like, that's for the weekend. I was like, that's a fire experience, yo. Stayed in DC. They got to go to the museums. I was like, yo, bro, a lot of kids aren't able to. They don't do that. A lot of kids have never been outside of New York, in DC. Like, yeah, it's not always about being the best player and playing. It's enjoying the experience, bro. Because that's what most of the kids are gonna remember as you get older. It's like, yo, I remember when I used to play in this league. I remember I used to do this. I remember when I had my teammates. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? Let's say I really want you to tell the people how they can get involved. Where can they find you at?
So I'm on Instagram at SDW_3. And, I have the Only for the Elite Co. That's the Instagram for OFTE. and Project Inspired Yonkers is on there as Project Inspired Yonkers, and Black Men Feel is there as Black Men Feel. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Mine is the only one that's like a little. It's like, those are my initials, like SDW3. So that's where you can find me at. And if you want to link up, you know, I'm doing the Yonkers 5K on September 14th.
Fire.
It's only $25. I do have a team that I put together. So if you wanna join me, just jog, get a nice little run in. And just pull up.
How often you running? Because I know that's bro.
5K ain't easy.
I just ran 2 miles today and I was dying.
Yeah, no, that's you know what the crazy thing is, bro? Like that shit is I'm dying every time I run. Like literally every time I run, I'll be like, I'm like, damn, this is hard.
Yeah.
But as soon as I finished running, I'm like, damn, that shit was great. I felt great. I felt accomplished. You know, and a lot of us, especially as we get older, that feeling of accomplishment kind of fades away. You know, we're not joining JV teams. We're not making varsity. Mm-hmm. We're not getting a championship. You know, we're not finding these different things to be excited about. So running a 5K, something that a lot of us just don't do on a regular, and feeling accomplished about it. You know, whatever time you get is like, yo, I did 3.2 miles. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a lot. When the last time you did 3 miles of anything, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Besides driving, you feel me? So
if it's one thing I want to say, like, we don't celebrate enough of our small accomplishments.
Yeah, any accomplishments.
And that's what that is. It's like, yo, I did that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I got a little medal, a little t-shirt.
Yeah, bro.
Nice. Post on the gram, you get mad likes.
Yeah, like, bro.
I'll be telling I know a lot of artists and creatives and things like that, and I'll be trying to tell them like, yo, your followers want to see you invest in yourself. Like, you're going to post your music all day and it's going to get the likes and stuff like that. But as soon as you post you doing some community service, as soon as you post you running a 5K, working out in the gyms, they see you building yourself, that's when they're going to feel really invested in you. You know what I'm saying? So if there's any artists that watch this, you know what I'm saying, like, definitely show that you're invested in yourself and show that you're working to become the most elite version of yourself. That's what's going to get people to buy into you. Mm-hmm. That's dope. You know, so that's it.
I love that. What's the hardest thing you rose above to get to the point where you're at right now? It's the last question we can ask you, I promise.
Me. I've continuously risen above myself on multiple occasions. I feel like that's a constant journey, is to get out of my own way. Yeah. Since I was a kid, I've been in my head a lot. You know, I'm very self-conscious sometimes, and like my friends and family, even at work, they were like, yeah, you know, you have a really good game face. They don't know if you're happy, if you're mad or anything like that. And it's like, it's because I be going crazy in my head and I try to like let it pull through. So it's really getting out of my own way, and that's something I'm working to continue to do, and it's got me here. So
we are our biggest obstacles, bro. Yeah. We are. Yo, thank you for being here, brother.
I appreciate
it. Man,
that was dope, man. Really
appreciate you.
Sure.
Y'all, thanks for rocking with us. We are about to sign off. Love y'all. Peace.